and if there's any children listening, my first guest will stay plugged in, because Antoine, how old are you?
I'm 15.
You're only 15, and you're in Hong Kong, born and bred here, but currently back here for your Christmas holidays, because you've been where?
Yes, exactly.
Where have you been?
I've been in Milan, in Italy, playing football.
So this has now become a full-time thing for you, is it?
Yeah, kind of. But I still have like my school, and I still do stuff like what a normal 15-year-old would do.
Are you allowed to say what you're doing on air? I mean, normal 15-year-olds are pretty rebellious, aren't they?
I don't know about that.
But being a dedicated sportsman, I'm sure that you're encouraged to do things very sensibly and in moderation, and along with the soccer training, there must be a lot of psychological training as well. Yeah, there's a lot of rules that come. If you take part in this soccer training, you have to have a lot of discipline, and they teach you that from the beginning. Who are the other players you're with? Are they all international lineup? No, they're pretty much all Italian, but there's a few Brazilians, but it's mainly Italian. I think we ought to rewind here, because I've said that you're Hong Kong born and bred and educated, but you are of Italian parentage. Yes. Give me a quick sort of family tree. No, my dad, he's from Italy, the south of Italy, and my mom is French, so I'm kind of mixed. Born in Hong Kong? Yeah, born in Hong Kong. Went to school in Hong Kong? Yeah, primary and secondary school. Can you do a quick name check to your old schools? Yeah, primary school was Kennedy School, and my secondary was West Island School, which were both ESF. Are you still in contact with old friends from those days? Yeah, of course, with all the social networks. Oh, thank heaven for Facebook, right? Yeah. Because it must be quite a big change for you from coming from, Hong Kong's a comfortable, smallish community. I've got young children growing up here, and it's easy for them. They can socialise quite quickly and make friends quite quickly. You've been out of this for the last year. Have you missed anything about Hong Kong? Oh, I miss Hong Kong a lot. It's my home, Yeah, it was definitely a culture shock when I went to Milan, and it took a lot of time to adjust. Because do you feel Italian, or do you feel you are a Hong Kong boy? No, I always feel like I'm a Hong Kong boy. But when I'm in Italy, I try to blend in, with the other kids, yeah. So it's a bit of a culture shock, really, isn't it? When you are, say, Italian parentage, Hong Kong born, you go back to Italy, you've got an Italian name. I imagine you've been brought up to speak Italian, but you don't have the same cultural context, do you, as other Italians? No, I wasn't brought up speaking Italian. Is your father listening? Why is there no Italian in your background? Why. Yeah, my first language is English, and the good thing about being in Milan is that I learned to speak Italian on my own. No books, just speaking with friends. That's how I learned. Survival as well, actually, isn't it? When you're in a new country like this. Well, let's go back again. We now know your parentage, where you went to school. But when did you first become so obsessed and so driven to do something with a soccer ball? Probably when I was 4 years old. Just playing, kicking the ball with my friends. That's basically it. And we were mad, just playing maybe 6 hours a day, just kicking the ball. It was crazy. At the age of 4? Yeah. That's quite unusual for a 4-year-old to have, a focus quite so much on one thing, because especially, I'm not going to be horrible about all boys, but boys don't at that age have a great attention span. No, yeah. Just when I was 4, I wasn't thinking about anything else, just kicking the ball. But I wasn't playing for any team, just, kicking in the park. That's just what I mean. Did you join any of the sort of soccer academies and the out-of-school activities involving soccer that have been set up in Hong Kong? Yeah. I think when I was 7, I started playing competitively, with matches, trainings. You joined a club, part of a sports club here? Yeah, Hong Kong Football Academy. I'm not sure if you know that. Oh, okay. So you've got some good local encouragement for your soccer. Yeah. What did your parents make of your obsession with the soccer ball? They were tired. They were sick and tired of it. They were every day, every Christmas, my list would be football. My birthday wish would be football, and they just grew tired of it. But they're fully supporting me, and I'm proud of it. So were they trying to broaden your horizons a bit? Were they forever giving you a new interest or suggesting a new activity to you? I think they tried, but then I think they just gave up. And how do you, in yourself, when you look back at that young 4-year-old, 7-year-old boy, can you see yourself as being, I'm going to put normal in inverted commas, to be quite so focused? I mean, your friends, you say, played with you, but I imagine after a while they must have petered off and found other things to do, but you remain very driven. No, my friends, I think, are still driven. We all share the same dream.
But I don't think it's. I think it's normal if you have a passion for something to be that driven to reaching a goal. I think it's normal.
What does school make of your great passion and your focus on football?
Well, for example, my school in Milan, they're really flexible and they're really helpful with my football. Like, every day I have to miss like the last lesson of the school. I have to miss it, so I have to catch up on a lot of the topics. So they're really flexible and they help me continue my studies, you know, like any other kid.
And when you were here in Hong Kong at school,
yeah,
did the school give you extra allowances for soccer and see that there was a talent there and encourage it?
To be honest, no.
It's hard in Hong Kong though, right? Because we're constrained by space.
Yeah.
We don't have the ability to have thousands of soccer pitches and set up a lot of schemes, right?
Yeah.
Even the schools, you're lucky to go to a school with a soccer pitch.
Yeah, but I feel like in Hong Kong, the passion for football is there, and I think the kids love playing football. And I've noticed that. I think it's the same as it is here as it is in Italy, to be honest.
It is massive here. And what did you make of that scorpion kick? I happened to watch the YouTube clip. That's become a Hong Kong sensation now, hasn't it? Maybe for the wrong reasons?
No, definitely not. I was like shocked, you know. I was on YouTube and I was all the way in Italy and I saw this video from Hong Kong and I remember this pitch. I played on that pitch, so it was quite incredible to see it.
Do you think players need to have something, because it's so competitive, that makes them stand out, whether it's an amazing home goal from a scorpion kick or they're very young and very driven? It must be very competitive to be able to say to the people who are scouting, to say, look at me, I'm worth taking a look at. How does it work?
Yeah, but maybe not an own goal. But my dad always used to tell me, like, you have to do the most to get the most. And when, for example, I had to do some trials, there were a lot of times where I had to, for example, be a bit selfish, selfish.
In what way selfish?
Like, instead of, I don't know, to show the coach what I can do and to make myself stand out.
At the detriment of the team, do you mean?
Yeah, of course, but yeah, of course.
And it worked though for you. How did you actually manage to get yourself into this soccer training school in Milan? What was the story there?
Well, it's quite a strange one. I was training one day and I remember it was like pouring rain, and there was this man who was walking up and down the touchline, and I had no clue about it. And a few days later, my parents told me that he was an Italian gentleman, and he flew me over to Milan, like me, my mom, and him. We flew to Milan, and he organized some trials with some Italian teams, and he organized the trial with Inter Milan. So it kind of all started from there. And
how had this Italian scout from Inter Milan heard about you over in Hong Kong?
I think because I like posting videos of myself playing football. I think also kind of media is kind of a passion of mine also. I really like using iMovie for making my own films, and I think I posted it on YouTube, and I think maybe he saw it, or I posted it on a website and he saw it.
That's remarkable that your story got picked up like that, because YouTube is a massive phenomenon, and there's a ton of video out there if you want to watch it. So for him to have found you seems remarkable. Do you think it's luck, or do you think it's destiny?
I like to think it's destiny, but I think it's luck, yeah.
We're talking today in the Lunchtime Show about inspiring things that can change the way of your life. And my first guest is a young Hong Konger who's hoping, I think, to make a huge splash on the hockey scene, on the football scene. Excuse me, I got my sports muddled up. We're going to be hearing more from Antoine after we heard from Natasha Bedingfield. Say it again, it's 1:30 on the Lunchtime Show.
My eyes give me away, even though my lips don't say. Should be so easy, but my head gets in the way. All the things that I want to tell you. You're the most perfect yet, most definitely that I've met, and I wonder if you know that's how I feel about you. I hope you know, 'cause I have so much love for you. Do with it what you will. definitely that I've met, and I hope that you feel the same way too about me. Just let me know, 'cause I have so much love for you. Do with it what you will. Oh yeah, and I have nothing more to prove. Say to me what you will. Say it again. Can you take it? Can you take it from me? If I give, can you receive? Oh, can you take it? I'm reaching out. Can you take it? Giving everything. Can you take it? I give you my heart, give you my soul, I give you it all. 'Cause I have so much love for you. For you, do with it what you will. And I have nothing more to prove. And I only want to give to you. Say it again. I have so much love for you. Do with it what you will. Do with it what you will. And I have nothing more.
That's Natasha Bedingfield here on the Lunchtime Show, talking about inspiration this lunchtime, starting off 2012, hopefully with some good food for thought. And my first guest today, Antoine Viterale, is in his middle teens, playing soccer in Milan. It's like a dream come true, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you can say that, but I don't think I've reached my goal yet. There's a lot to
What
do.
is the goal? What's the long-term vision for you?
Well, since I'm kind of in one of Inter's academies, I think it's right that I'm aiming for, to play in their reserve and then hopefully go into their first team, but I would like to be playing at the highest level possible.
What is the competition like as you get further up the academy?
Oh, the one thing about Italy is the competition. They live and breathe football. So I've had a few like experiences where the competition really gets to you, and it's actually hard to cope with, and it's massive.
Are you given much, we talked a little bit about psychological guidance, and you were saying right from day one at the academy you were told about how to focus, but do they give you much support about how to deal with the stress and the pressure of playing the game at a professional level?
No, not yet. I don't think so. So far it's only been, about the football, about the technical skills, the physical, but so far none about the mental.
And do you think there will be a lot of pressure going up? Can you feel that spotlight pressure?
Yeah, I can already feel it now. Yeah.
And how do you cope with it?
I don't know, but I have a lot of support from my parents, which is for me really important, and I have a lot of support from my friends who are here in Hong Kong, and I think they motivate me, so that's how I cope with the pressure.
When you're actually playing the game, when you're out there, what kind of state of mind do you go into? I'm wondering how aware you are of what's around you, whether it's more going into a different world, just so very focused.
No, but whenever I play football, I'm focused, and I'm just focused on winning that match, playing well. I don't think about anything else, really.
In your school life here, were you encouraged to be competitive?
Yes, I think so, yeah, we were. Definitely at the PE lessons, yeah, we were.
I think it seems to be maybe a modern educational thing that children, certainly the winners, the idea of being a winner has been somewhat diluted. Maybe there's a concern that if some people have first, second, third, and everybody else get disillusioned and they give up trying. Certainly for my children, medals, which I quite agree with. Do win and do lose and learn how to be a winner, and you have to learn.
Yeah, I think, for example, I don't think you're supposed to learn to accept that as being, but the time.
You could lose.
When I was a kid, I hated losing. For example, I really don't know, actually. I'm sorry, I don't know. But
I'm wondering whether it's got something to do with how much cash nowadays is involved with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it could. But with the racism, I really have no clue, because I heard that they're doing like a lot of anti-racism and the game is, evolving, but I really have no clue why it's still in there.
I grew up in the UK in the 1960s and 70s, and the hooliganism was at its height then as well.
Yeah.
And so a game that should be a sort of family-centred sport to come and watch, to bring your children along, became just an unrecognisable pitch for people to be vandals, really.
Yeah, but for example, England right now, I think it's doing really well with their stadiums. You see a lot of families coming. But for example, in Italy, you have sometimes the matches are played in empty stadium. They lock the stadiums because of, of course, of vandalism, hooliganism.
That must be a very strange sensation to be playing an international game or, a very important game in your country's league to know people. Did you lose some of the atmosphere?
Well, yeah, especially when you're watching it on TV and there's no atmosphere. It's a bit weird. It's a bit strange.
It is strange. I mean, hopefully going forward, the game will find its way to become a balanced and healthy spectator sport again. But there is a huge amount of cash involved, isn't there? I was reading about how much David Beckham is meant to be getting in this very secret transfer that's all over the papers to Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, it's ludicrous. Do you think there should be so much money? Do players deserve to get paid that much?
Well, I always say that football bring it for the people who watch football. I think the players, the amount of money they earn is always too much. I think it's to compare to what other people they work for a lifetime, what they get in a month. So I think it's a bit out of.
And so they become kind of important role models, don't they? If you're going to get so much cash and so much kudos, you've then got to become someone who can step up to the plate, I suppose, and show that you deserve to have that cash and kudos.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are your football inspirations?
Well, in football, my inspirations are Cristiano Ronaldo. He was the one. Whenever I watch him play, he makes me want to play, and I just love watching him.
So that's purely from a skill level as a footballer?
Yeah, as a skill and his story. I thought it's an amazing story, his.
Well, soccer can do that, can't it? If you've got the talent and the stars are aligned and you're spotted, you can go from someone who has very little opportunity and perhaps would have spent a life staying in their own hometown with not much of an outlook into a superstar.
Yeah.
It's very fairy tale for that.
Yeah, it is. Like, especially with my idols like Cristiano Ronaldo, his story, he was moved to far away from his parents, which so am I, and so I can relate to that. And I watch his autobiography, I read his autobiography, and it inspires me.
And what about the other players you've met at in Milan? Have they got sort of similar stories of being spotted and very passionate and driven, and it's the stars aligned? It's been fated for them, do you think? I'm very curious to know more about their backgrounds.
Well, no, they're all from the area, but you have some kids who started out in these academies when they were maybe 5 years old, so when they were really young. But you have others who have been spotted, who have been playing in lower leagues, and they went for trials, and that's how it all started.
And that's how it went for them. If anyone's listening who's playing soccer here on a junior or young adult level in Hong Kong, how would you direct them to making it happen for them, or giving them a possibility that they could too be joining some great training league?
Well, I always think that you always have to have the motivation. You have to have it you really want it. You have to really want it. You cannot have any doubts, and you have to always enjoy it. Don't lose that that joy of playing. But to get there, I'm not. You have to keep believing. You just play, and maybe one day you have a luck, or you join a team and you go abroad. You never know. Anything can happen. You
don't know who's out there spotting you, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an incredible feeling. And a lot of boys are very passionate about their football. It seems to be a very common boy fixation.
Yeah, football's a sport of the world. That's what I feel.
Absolutely. We're talking today in the first part of our lunchtime show to Antoine Viterale, hoping to make it big on the international soccer stage. It's Bananarama. The time at 17 minutes before 2 o'clock. going back to the 1980s with Bananarama and Cruel Summer. Antoine, tell me a little bit about your training schedule in Inter Milan. You know, are you up very early, you're running around, it's more than just the football, are you in the gym?
No, like in the morning I go to school around 8, so it's pretty normal. But again, as I said, like I have to leave school, you know, 1 hour before everyone else. So yeah, I do the training for about 2.5 hours, 3 times a week. That's purely like soccer, you know, technique. But the coach advises us, you know, to go to the gym, and he gives up like different exercises for us to do, and the other 2 days of the week, and that's what I do. And then matches on the weekends.
Are you quite good at going to the gym? You're quite focused on it?
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. I like going to the gym.
So for any children listening out there at the moment, would you suggest they get off their bottoms and start to get out there and do some you know, you've got to have the fitness right first before you can become a good player. The things go hand in glove.
Yeah, but I would advise just to do a sport that you love, you know, like don't do sport because you have to. Do it because you enjoy it.
Don't do it because your parents tell you to.
Maybe.
But then again, sports, especially for boys, I think is it's really important because it's a way of bonding. It's a way of controlling those the male pack instinct. You know, do it on a rugby field or of course a soccer pitch rather than down in the parks.
Yeah.
And it's very social.
Yeah. Football is how I have my friends, my best friends. I met them on the football pitch. I didn't meet them at school, all on the football pitch. And they're my best friends today. And
talking about friends, how have your classmates from Hong Kong reacted to this change in your education?
Well, like every day, you know, I go on my email and I'm like, and they're always like, hi, how you doing? Hi. When are you coming back? So it's really nice, and they support me, and it's really nice. Yeah.
Maybe they're hoping that one day, you know, you will become that famous soccer star, and they can say, "Oh, we knew Antoine when he was on Hong Kong," and that would be something, wouldn't it? Have there been many Hong Kong-bred soccer success stories before you?
I'm actually not sure, but I've known a few people who have gone abroad that were living here in Hong Kong. Yeah, I've known a few. To pursue a sporting career. Yes, yeah.
And you don't know what's happened to them?
No, not really, because it was, I think, a few years back, and so now I don't know.
It's interesting to think that we're such a small dot on the landscape. What actually, sporting-wise, can come out of here? Of course, remember the windsurfer in the Olympics, Samsan, and I actually read today that there's going to be an alpine ski team from Hong Kong in.
Really?
Yes, which I thought was extraordinary, because you wouldn't put Hong Kong as a skiing team.
Where would you train?
I hope I've got my facts right. Who knows? There is that one indoor slope somewhere in Hong Kong, but you know, not Olympic level. Do you think that Hong Kong can be a good crucible to encourage sport?
Yeah, I think so. Like already, you know, the rugby sevens. I thought, look at the stadiums there. There's like, it's full.
It's full of partiers, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
let's face it. It's not always full of supporters.
Yeah.
Not that I'd know that.
But you know, the people enjoy the rugby, and that, for example, for rugby, that could be a good way of getting more kids to play rugby. Maybe for football, it could improve. I think it could improve.
Indeed, Andy Dembina, who's the lunchtime show producer, was in a second ago, and he was wondering what you thought about the fact that often the stadiums are half empty when it comes to soccer games played on the local leagues.
Yeah.
And yet soccer, well, on the European soccer, is massive in Hong Kong.
Yeah, you know, the advertisement of those leagues, they kind of take over, and people tend to forget that they have their own leagues here in Hong Kong. But I've played with like some of the local teams, and they have some good players, some really good players actually, and I think more people should come in and check out their future stars. Would
you ever consider coming back to play in Hong Kong professionally?
Yeah, maybe, but it's always my home, so I think one point in my life I will come back here. Who knows?
Maybe we need like a soccer superstar to come in and to really highlight Hong Kong and what it has to offer.
Yeah, I heard that Nicky Butt from Newcastle, he came, or no, from the Premier League, I'm not sure. He came to South China here. Yeah, so I think that, you know, for example, also in Shanghai, they paid Nicholas Anelka a huge amount of wages just to come. So I think that's how you start to get more and more people to come.
So you have to get the international stars to come over, to get the interest going, to get more players taking it seriously.
Yeah, that's what I think, yeah.
Right. Well, we've got about only 10 minutes of the programme left. I'm going to wish you the best of luck when you go back to Milan, which is when?
I think I'm leaving this Saturday.
And then you've got another year or 2 years of education, and then you go to the next stage, if you're chosen, of playing for the junior league squad. How does it work?
I think in Italy you call it the Primavera, which is which is kind of the stepping stone before you go to the first team and the professional. So that's where I want to be.
Well, best of luck to you. On a final note, because we're trying to talk about New Year's inspiration, for anyone who does have a drive and a passion at home and doesn't know how to handle it or how to channel it properly so they can actually feel that they're fulfilling themselves, what words of advice would you give them?
My words of advice would never lose that focus. Always keep that goal in mind. But again, I always say that you have to enjoy what you do. Like, I'm 15. You have to keep the same joy that I used to have when I was 7, for example. So never forget that.
Always feel the joy.
Yeah,
and when you don't feel the joy, it's probably not worth pursuing the passion so much, is it?
Exactly.
Do you have a standby career just in case football doesn't quite make it for you? Anything else?
No, that's why my mum's a bit worried.
Well, at least you're still going to school and you're still being educated, and there's a chance that you'll continue with the education and the football will go hand in glove.
Yeah, it's important that I continue.
And do you want to say hi to your sister? Because she's in Hong Kong as well, isn't she?
All right. Hi, Noemi. Hope you're listening. Hi.
Yeah, and giving you lots of support, is she?
Yeah, you're the best. Thank you.
Is she sporting?
Not at all.
What does she love doing? What's her passion?
Her passion? Oh, she loves animals, so I hope she goes far in the animal.
Got to pursue that passion.
Yeah.
Antoine, the best of luck to you. It's been really marvellous to meet you.
Thank you.
I'll be looking out now. I don't normally read the sporting pages with a huge amount of interest, but now I know you might be in them. I'll be following your career and following you on YouTube or posting your videos.
Yeah, okay, I'll try and make some more.
Do one especially for the lunchtime listeners. That would be super.
All right. Thanks for
Antoine,
having me.
Happy New Year.